Akin Akınözü and Ebru Şahin shake Hollywood. Bradley Cooper drops a confession that no one saw coming, and suddenly an old favorite burns bright again. Welcome to Turkish series stars. If you're new here, hit subscribe and stay with us until the end, because this one travels from Los Angeles studios to Istanbul terminals and back again. In celebrity gossip, a single sentence can flip the board. One remark, one name, one memory, and boom, Turkey starts talking and the world leans in to hear. The spark this time came from an Oscar-winning powerhouse with a calm smile and a way of turning small talk into headlines. Bradley Cooper, seated casually on a talk show couch, got onto the topic of his mother's TV pics. What followed felt like a rewind button pressed on a Turkish series that once dominated nights and weekends, that filled living rooms across continents, that built a family of fans who never really said goodbye. Herkay. Yes, Herkay. And the two faces intertwined with it forever, Akin Akınözü and Ebru Şahin. Cooper said his mom adored Turkish series, but he didn't stop there. He said she had watched Herkay 4 times. 4 full rounds. You could practically hear the gasp online. The chat bubbles, the reposts, the clips cutting and looping, all of it erupted. But the line that detonated the conversation came right after. He added that his mother calls the leading man in that show the best in the world. One phrase, a tidal wave. Fans didn't just cheer, they dissected it. Was it a playful nod or a carefully placed signal? Was the best in the world a simple salute from a Hollywood son to his mom's favorite? Or something bigger, something that opens doors you can't see yet? And then came the comment about the actress. Cooper mentioned that the series worked, and that the actress was very good too. A modest sentence on the surface, but the layers piled up. Was it merely a touch of praise for Ebru Şahin's artistry? Or was it an elegant way to say, Hollywood's watching you, yes, you, and the camera likes what it sees? Make no mistake, this wasn't just a warm endorsement from a star with impeccable taste. It landed like a pebble in a still pond and became a ripple that touched every bank. The tabloids doubled back. Social media did its thing. Herkay stepped out of the memory box and onto the trending lists. Why now? Why this show? Why those two? We'll walk through the context of Cooper's confession, why Herkay is roaring back into conversation, why Akin Akınözü didn't let those words pass him by, what Ebru Şahin said when she returned from Budapest, and the whispers that weave through back rooms, green rooms, and quiet phone calls. Buckle in. Let's start with the question on everyone's lips, what made Bradley Cooper say it out loud? There's a charm in seeing massive stars talk about their mothers, and this time the warmth came with a jolt of recognition. Turkish dramas have been finding eager hearts for years, and Herkay was one of those that traveled like a beloved song. If you loved it deeply. If you didn't watch it the first time, you found it later. Once a story moves like that, it lives on in unexpected corners. Apparently including a Hollywood kitchen where a mother finishes an episode and starts the next with the same smile. And then, what about Akin Akınözü? People close to him say he heard the clip and felt something between surprise and pride. Not performative pride, not a headline grab attempt, but that quiet, unmistakable glow that comes when someone who knows craft recognizes yours. Word is, he told friends that hearing that kind of praise from someone like Cooper is more than flattering. It's a reminder that the work crossed oceans for a reason. No formal statement, no theatrical reaction. Just the message that the compliment landed, and that it's been a topic in his circle ever since. Because let's be honest, when a Hollywood heavy hitter, even in passing, marks your name with best, it lingers. Those same circles have been buzzing with an idea that refuses to fade. Was this random, or was it a breadcrumb? Is there an international project looming, a collaboration, a surprise meeting tucked into a travel schedule? People who know how these things start will tell you. Often, it begins with exactly this admiration that turns into curiosity that turns into a call. Fans have been sketching possibilities overnight. Would it be a film? A limited series? Something on a global platform with a map-sized audience? The guessing game is part of the fun, but the tension is real. Because the words "best in the world," even if spoken with a wink, carry weight. And what of Ebru Şahin in this whirlwind? She's been a magnet lately, not only for her performances but also for the details that the gossip pages adore. Critics and viewers alike have praised her recent work, and her interviews thread together a woman who chooses carefully and moves with intention. When Bradley Cooper's lines linked her name with a Hollywood frame, the reaction was lightning fast. Is she next on a plane to Los Angeles? Does the actress is good mean she's been seen, truly seen, by people who can reroute careers with a single idea? According to people close to her, Ebru took the comments with grace and caution. Sweet words, she reportedly said, but let's not exaggerate. Even so, no one doubts that the glow has expanded, that doors shift on their hinges just a little when that kind of attention lands. Why Herkai, and why does it still hum after all this time? The answer lies in everything it offered. It was romantic without sugarcoating, dramatic without losing its heart, sincere in the way that makes viewers feel less like strangers and more like neighbors. The chemistry between Akin and Ebru was not a product of hype, it was an engine that powered every scene. When characters carry that kind of charge, a series becomes more than episodic. It becomes a memory. That's why a mother in America could loop it 4 times. That's why a son on a couch could share it with the world. While the Hollywood chatter churned, a different scene lit up in Istanbul. Ebru Şahin returned from Budapest and stepped into the camera flash at the airport with her familiar mix of composure and light. She answered questions as she always does, openly, without feeding the fire too eagerly. Then she said a line that the gossip machine couldn't resist: "I'm going to see my little ones." Simple, warm, nothing you wouldn't hear from a friend heading out the door. But the internet is a magnifying glass. Is she hinting at family plans? Is this a whisper about a new chapter? Or was it, as she later clarified, a reference to the children of close friends in Budapest, a short trip taken just to catch up and recharge? The safest truth is usually the right one, but curiosity never sleeps. When asked about New Year's, she painted a quiet picture. Staying in, gathering with friends, watching the snow. It sounded like a reset, like choosing the soft edges over the loud ones. Lately, people say she's favored a calmer tempo, fewer bright lights, more careful steps. And that's where the whispers twist again. Is the quiet about peace or preparation? Is there a role hovering, a new strategy unfolding, a plan that needs silence more than spectacle? From another angle, the bigger question looms. Are Turkish dramas fully on Hollywood's radar now? The past few years have given us the answer more than once. Global platforms have turned regional success into international momentum, and actors like Akin, Akınözü and Ebru Şahin have become some of the clearest symbols of that shift. All it takes is one casual remark to reveal a storyline that's already underway, that Turkish storytelling speaks fluently across borders, and that the faces leading it are being watched in rooms we don't see. Back to the fans, Akin's supporters have been vocal, proud, and relentless in their optimism. You can practically hear them asking if this is the sign, if Hollywood has been quietly circling, if an agent's inbox has been carrying more weight lately. The reactions have ranged from celebratory to analytical, from posting old clips with new captions to parsing the precise tone of a late-night segment. Meanwhile, Ebru's admirers are savoring the elegance of a compliment that felt both grounded and bright. To them, the story writes itself. If you deliver, the world recognizes it, even when you are not trying to be loud. It's worth remembering, too, why Herkai refuses to fade. The show planted itself in Latin America, in Italy, in Spain, in the Middle East, in places that love big emotion and honest arcs. For many, it was a doorway to Turkish TV as a whole. It built attachments that still echo. When Cooper's mother hit play for the 4th time, she was doing what many have done without blinking, returning to a world that comforts and thrills in equal measure. That's not just viewership, that's connection. Behind the scenes, there's talk of balance. If invitations are being considered, what kind of project would feel right for Akin? Something with gravity, they say, something that lets him bend the space around a scene with the kind of intensity Herkai fans know by heart. And for Ebru, there's a push for roles that stretch and surprise, that hold grace and steel in the same frame. One rumor has it that there's interest in seeing them together again in an international project, the kind that would break the internet on casting day. Another rumor suggests separate paths, parallel ascents that eventually cross. Rumors are rumors, but watch how they cling. And still, there are the little moments. The airport smile. The friends-only New Year's. The quiet days that don't scream for attention but still get it. These are the frames that keep audiences invested, the details that feed an industry built on wonder and whispers. Are we at the beginning of a new era where a Turkish series reference on a Hollywood couch is business as usual? Or was this a rare alignment of taste, timing, and truth? Either way, the impact is already here. Because what matters is not only that Bradley Cooper said it, but that it felt true to people who have loved these two since the first time they met them on screen. That kind of authenticity is hard to manufacture. It lives in performances that hold your breath for you, in scenes that make you remember the feeling long after the cut. It lives in names like Akin, Akınözü and Ebru Şahin, names now being repeated with new interest in places none of us were watching yesterday. So let's ask the questions that all great gossip stories invite. Was Cooper just voicing his mother's taste, or signaling something fresh moving beneath the surface? Did Akin's quiet reaction mask a bigger plan, a long game that values precision over noise? When Ebru says she's visiting the little ones, is it only sweetness, or is there a hidden message about the future she's building step by careful step? Has Herkai's chemistry already done the heavy lifting for whatever comes next? And if there were to be a return to that world, a remake, a reimagining, a one-off special, would the lightning strike twice? Your thoughts matter here. This is a conversation that belongs to those who kept Herkai alive, who saved clips, who sent recommendations, who taught their friends how to pronounce the names with pride. If you see a path forming from Istanbul to Los Angeles, tell us why. If you believe the magic sits better in new stories, say that too. In this space, curiosity is the currency, and the only rule is to keep it honest. One more thing, the bridge between Turkey and Hollywood is not hypothetical anymore. It exists in the actors who travel, in the platforms that expand, in the audiences that refuse to be boxed in by language or geography. It exists in the nights where someone in one city ends an episode just as someone halfway around the world begins it. That's the world Akin and Ebru helped build, and that's the world that noticed when Bradley Cooper let his mother's favorite slip into the spotlight. We'll keep watching. We'll keep listening for the soft clicks of a career turning a corner, for the subtle hints that something is lining up. And we'll be here to talk about every piece of it as it unfolds, the rumors, the confirmations, the denials, the returns, and the reinventions. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to Turkish Series Stars, and turn on notifications so you never miss what's whispered off camera and what finally breaks into the light. Until next time, keep your eyes open and your hearts ready. Stories like this don't end, they evolve. And somewhere, on a couch we can't see, a mother hits play again.